This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Hello and welcome to We All Belong, Voices of Lived Experiences. My name is Carol Merton. Our participants are sharing their stories to increase understanding and awareness about the challenges of everyday living and survival. Some are unhoused and some are at risk of not having a roof over their heads. I thank those support agencies and services who work hard every day to meet people's needs and who have helped in the development of this program. Today we're taping live at Safe and Sound. We're actually back in the laundry room. You'll see clothes behind us. There's washer and dryer to one side. And from time to time you may hear some background noise. The participants in the program in Safe and Sound come in and out, and so we are still going to be continuing with the interview even if there is a bit of background noise. And I want to thank Curtis very, very much for joining me today. So I introduce Curtis to you. Thank you. Nice to see you.
Nice seeing you.
So I have some questions for you. I know you've had a chance to look through these. And my first one is, how long have you lived in Owen Sound?
My whole life. Like
you are
30
a
years.
born and bred Owen Sounder then?
Yeah.
So Owen Sound is home.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is always a very tough question for me to ask. It just always is. But would you consider yourself homeless?
Yeah.
How long have you been homeless?
A couple months.
So before that, you had a roof over your head?
Yeah.
Is this the first time that you've actually been homeless?
No.
So you've had times where you've had to go through this experience? Yeah. All right. Can you tell us what has led you to the situation of being homeless that you're facing now?
Just like bad friends. My roommate inviting the wrong people over.
Yep.
That's about it.
So just some of the experiences that led you to this have been because of the friends that you're around. And when you have been homeless, would you say that each time is different?
Yeah.
What makes it harder? Is it the weather situation that would make it harder for you when you're in a homeless situation, or is it just being homeless again?
Yeah, pretty much like not knowing what to do.
Yeah, yeah. So I wanted to ask you a little bit about your health, because we always think about those who are without supports as having health concerns as well. How do you stay able to take care of your health?
By coming in here, going to see other friends that have a place to stay and whatnot.
Yep. So will you from time to time be able to stay over with other friends as well? Yeah. Yeah. That was a phrase that I picked up in the interviews called couch surfing, where, so you would describe that, a couch or a, some people will use an air mattress on the floor, like any place that has a roof. So that would be for you as well. So finding a place where you've got a roof overhead is important for staying healthy. Where do you get your food?
There's O'Share here at Safe and Sound, and then there's the food banks and all that. So
you end up going from place to place, depending on what's available, to be able to get the food. Are you under the care of anyone who can take care of, like a physician or anyone? So you're other than food and a place to get shelter, you're pretty well taking care of your health yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you find that hard?
Sometimes.
Yeah. 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 For you, being homeless, what are the most important things that you need every day?
Just food and like, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's about it.
You mentioned friends, so being able to be around friends is important.
Yeah, in a way.
being alone would not be feeling very great.
Sometimes.
So you pick and choose.
Yeah.
I think that's a good thing.
Depends on who you're around.
Yep. So your choice of friends makes a difference as well. Yep. So in the winter, where would you go to get warm?
Pretty much any store.
So you just go wherever there is warmth.
Yeah.
Yeah. And in the heat wave that we've had in the last little while, where do you go to get cool?
Pretty much like just anywhere, like just
Like
walk around.
Yeah. So when the business is closed down and Safe and Sound isn't open, how do you find a place to sleep?
I normally like either build something or just go somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah.
I got tents, everything.
So you would either build some sort of structure to help you. And did you say you had a tent?
Yeah. I got a couple.
Yeah, so that, and you pick and choose your location. And I'm not asking you where you stay, okay, because that's not
Discreet.
How do you find a safe place that you know you're safe overnight?
I don't know. I just find them.
Yeah, so you look for safe places, and that's where you'll pitch a tent or build a structure. Have you ever stayed in a shelter or a motel program?
No.
Okay, so you've always spent the night outside if you don't have a couch or an air mattress or something, so it's always been outside. Are there people who would rather sleep outside than inside?
I don't know.
No. You haven't encountered anyone who would make that choice. All right. When you hang out with friends, how do you find a good place to hang out?
Just like depends on where like the location is. Like.
Yeah. So it wouldn't always be the same place.
No.
Okay. All right. So you're from Howe and Sound.
Yeah.
How do you stay in touch with those people you want to stay in touch with? Friends, family, other members of your community. How do you stay in touch?
I just walk around. If I run into them, I run into them.
Yeah.
I don't have a cell phone or anything, so.
And that was what I was wondering is so you walk around, if you happen to see them, you have a chat, but you have no way of communicating otherwise.
No.
So what do you do if there's an emergency? All of a sudden you get sick, you need help.
I walk up to the hospital.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So being without a cell phone is a risk, really, if you needed help immediately. Yeah. It sounds like you almost have to think ahead on what you would do, right? Because you're not always hanging out with a group of friends. Sometimes you like to be on your own as well. Yeah. So men and women being homeless could be different.
Yeah.
Do you think there's a big difference between men and women being homeless?
No, not really.
Okay. Do you think it's riskier for one over the other, or do you think the risks are the same?
About the same, depending on like the person's health.
Yep. What do you think the rest of the community needs to understand about being homeless? What would you like to say to them?
I don't know.
Do people treat you respectfully?
Yeah, most do.
Mostly, yeah. So you find that people, wherever you are, you're treated with courtesy.
Yeah.
What would make your life better today?
I honestly do not know.
Do you think? Now you said you've been a couple of months without a roof. Do you anticipate by the winter you might have a roof over your head?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So there's hope for you that you'll have a roof, because that would certainly be helpful. If there were 3 wishes, this is a tricky one. If I had a magic pen and I could grant you 3 wishes, what would you wish for you?
I honestly don't know. I wouldn't wish for anything. I
Yep.
don't really need anything, so.
Yep. So you're managing, and you figured out ways to manage
Yeah.
and to help take care of yourself every single day.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Mark, the producer, is giving me the broom. I can see it out of the corner of my eye. I can't believe how quickly our time has gone. I want to thank you for sharing with me today. Thank you to our viewing audience as well for joining us for We All Belong, Voices of Lived Experiences. Please join us again to hear more of the stories of those with lived experience. Take care.
I am Gagweg. My name means everything.
Tom Longboats.
I am Wolf Clan, Onondaga Nation. I've run many different races. I've run to survive and to be free. I've run to win for honor.
His people might be lazy, but this one's damn fast.
My people respected our runners, people who carried important messages from village to village.
I need a guide to the next post. Dispatch carrier, sir. I can get you there.
God's sakes, man, slow down. Who do you think I am, Tom Longboat?
No, sir. I am.
Running makes me feel alive. It's everything.
Tom Longboat was the first Indigenous person to win the Boston Marathon. He ran his way to international fame and became an inspiration to generations of athletes.
You're watching an interesting local show on Rogers TV and you want to know more. That's when you head to rogerstv.com. Our website provides more information about our programs, our hosts, our schedule, and about how you too can get involved with Rogers TV. Visit us online at rogerstv.com.
Hello and welcome to We All Belong, Voices of Lived Experiences. My name is Carol Merton. Our participants are sharing their stories to increase awareness and understanding about the challenges of everyday living and survival. Some are unhoused and some are at risk of losing the roof over their heads. I thank those support agencies and services who work hard every day to meet people's needs and who have helped in the development of this program. Currently, we are taping this program at Safe and Sound. So you'll notice behind me, we're in the laundry room, so there is clothing hanging up behind. And so far, they haven't put us to work doing laundry, but the washer and dryer are on the other side. You may also occasionally hear some background noise. Safe and Sound is for those who wish to be participants in the program, and they come in and out. So sometimes you may hear some noise. We'll just continue on with the program and discussion. Today I am delighted to welcome Jan Chamberlain, who is here to talk about the seniors' perspective. Jan has offered kindly to share the stories of the seniors who have been unhoused or at risk of being without a roof over their heads, because that's not a perspective in the previous interviews we particularly focused on, and I think it's an absolutely critical perspective to add to this whole picture of a very vulnerable community and vulnerable population within our community. Jan, thank you for joining me. This is great. So, first of all, I want you to tell me about Jan, and because you come with significance and you come with experience with seniors groups. So tell me a bit about Jan, and first of all, about the award that you...
Oh, Senior of the Year, which was done by the city, which was very nice. There was some people wrote some very nice nomination letters, and yes, I value that. I have it on my wall at home. But where I'm at with seniors is it's changing. It's changing a lot.
Yeah.
And
you're part of seniors groups, though.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am in some seniors groups. I'm in the Council on Aging, I'm working a lot with what happened through COVID with the loneliness factor, and there's been some very good grants through New Horizons in the future to do outreach for people to become more aware of their help and things.
Yeah.
So I've all been part of all of that. So I've learned a lot for seniors. And I continue to be involved with seniors activities.
Yeah.
And I'm also in groups where most of us have aged in place, well, I say.
Yes.
So we are all seniors now.
Yeah.
And quite senior, as a matter of fact. I think well, it doesn't matter. I'm almost an elder now.
Really,
an elder.
a wise elder.
Yes. But what I wanted to, when I first got involved with Council on Aging, and that was back when we started it through our Active Lifestyle Center.
Yes.
And we went out into the community to have some information sessions with people to talk about all the age-friendly components. The very first thing always that came up, housing. And it was people who were not, in fact, they were housed, but they wanted to downsize and they wanted to move to a more appropriate, accessible place.
Yeah.
And there just wasn't places available in the community. And so I got quite involved with housing because I was at the same stage myself of how to stay in our bigger homes. And so there was all these issues like, can you do home share? Can you make a bed and breakfast? Now it's Airbnb, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've done all that. So I've had people in my home pretty much from the time I became a widow in 2005. And I've shared my home, and so I felt that I knew a lot about housing.
Yeah.
But what I'm learning now is people who have not been able to transition in any way, especially when they've lost a spouse, and there's only the one income now coming in from the government instead of the two.
Right.
And what's happened with the rents.
Yes.
And there's been rental evictions, and I personally have been involved with people who I actually housed at my place while they were rental evicted until they got on the by names list, and then they got into some supportive housing. So I'm very close to the issue around that. And when I go out now in seniors groups, I have an opportunity to talk about some of this.
Yeah.
And what I'm hearing from seniors still is like they are afraid to come downtown. So I want to come at that today, what we're talking about around that. And I'm not personally afraid, but I'm not downtown very much in the night.
Yeah.
You know, but you just get to have routines. I'm downtown in the daytime, so I'm not afraid of it. But I know what it is. I've asked directly, and with Francesca Dobbin from the United Way, she's actually done presentations with some of my seniors groups saying, you know, give them eye contact. And yes, do give them something if they ask you for something. You want to have a card with you or have a card from the grocery store. She's had really good suggestions to us. Yeah. But mostly what it is, it's the inconsistent behavior is what I'm hearing the seniors say, is they don't know what to expect. Like one time this person will be quite reasonable, but another time they acting quite different. And we know so what the seniors are it's not that we're not full of hope, but I have to work hard at them still being hopeful. With them, a lot of them feel there's no answers. So I so appreciate what you're doing, Carol, because if we can come at some answers from some of the people who are living through this and all in this together.
Yes.
So it's about taking responsibility, and some municipalities are doing more than others. Yeah. And that's what responsibility is all about. We're all taking a little piece of this responsibility, and that's why I responded to you today to speak, because I don't have the lived experience that you've been mostly focusing on, but I'm very close to it.
Yes.
And I think that I can, in the leadership part of it. Yeah. And that's what we need. We need a lot of leadership. Yeah. And it's just, right now, I'm aware from my volunteer work at the museums and at Grey Roots, we're really requiring volunteers. Yeah. But I think the backlash of what's going on in our societies, people are not coming out of their homes very much. Yeah. They're sitting and watching Netflix, series after series. Yeah. That's what I hear when I'm talking to people. Yeah. And I'm thinking,
they're becoming isolated.
Well, it's very tricky, isn't it? Yeah. It's a very tricky situation. And we're not going to church. We're not where we were before. So I want to stay hopeful, and so instead of saying there's no answers, we just say there's got to be answers, and let's keep talking. Then maybe you should ask me something. I just rambled.
I'm just listening. No, you. So now, I also want to mention that you've also served as a counselor.
Oh, yes.
Yes, I mean, so you come from a variety of perspectives and you're actively involved. Now, I know when we chatted, we had talked about, could we get a senior here who's actually had the lived experience? And I found out that that's easier said than done.
Yes.
And so you're here
and I
to
was
be
working
their
on
voice.
that too for you, Carol. And not everybody, privacy issues are very important in this town too.
Yes.
And
they don't necessarily want to share because they're private, or
they haven't had the experience of. I've sat down with you before, and I've sat down at Rogers quite often, and I've also been on the radio, so I don't have that fear.
Yes.
And I have always. I think I'm coming from my heart all the time too.
Absolutely.
So I just want to tell people.
You come from a good place. So, but you've heard people tell you stories, and this is what captured me for sure.
Yes.
Actually, it shocked me that you knew of seniors who'd actually had to live in their cars.
They are in the car.
That's
is totally
true.
That is a totally true statement.
Yeah.
And it's mostly more they people are getting homes, like mobile homes, and they're living and moving in those. And but
because
to that end, like the way we are housed in our big homes, there is definitely a movement towards smaller, and like people like to call them tiny homes, but modular homes. And just the other day, there was a drone video of a new home being placed in Southampton that was just being lifted in place. In the morning there was no home, and in the evening there was a home there. And so when I look at trying to figure out how can we have more homes, because that's what seems to be what the answer that the government's coming at, and we just need more homes. There are ways to get more homes.
Affordable homes.
Affordable, well, that's if it's rent, right? And mostly it's going to be a rental situation. But even the young people wanting to start in a beginner home, there are ways to get homes that are not the big prices that we're having here. And so I'd like people to realize that it's not going. What's happening even with the new developments around Owen Sound, the prices are not going to work for where we're at right now. So we have to figure this out.
Yes.
In leadership
together.
roles, right?
Leadership.
And that's what you are, Carol. Staying on that council, that's leadership.
Thank you so much. Now, what else have you got written down? Because I want to make sure I cover all that's in your page before I do my page.
Well, I really was listening in on one of your other interviews about, I don't know if the gentleman's name was Bill, and he said, let them help themselves, help get people to be able to help themselves. How do we do that? So let's ask him some more about how to do that.
Yes. We need to listen to those with the lived experiences because they have the knowledge. They live that experience, and they can be part of the solutions as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I got involved with last fall was we did this thing called Rebound Owen Sound, and it was because there was an election coming. You got to be part of.
I remember that.
But the big thing that came out of that was we had a place where people could say things. They had a voice. And that's when we started to hear from some of the, well, I'll call them street people. And they came to the microphone and they told us stuff. And I think there was a big awareness thing happened, and we ought to keep that going. And to that end, Rebound is still a thing. It has a Facebook page, and we can have more public meetings. They're almost like town halls. We have to do that because it's learning this information, and what you're doing here is perfect, but not everybody has Rogers.
Exactly.
Can we get these on YouTube? What can we do with this?
I will make that request.
Yes, because it would be wonderful if they
so that people can for
and
sure.
let them know when these are
them.
on as well, because this is really an important piece of information.
So what you're saying is that we need to engage with the community and use the tools, for example, what you mentioned, Rebound, or gathering places where we start to bring the people together to help solve the issues.
Yes, and this place that we're in right now, the Safe and Sound, what an amazing thing,
isn't it?
And it's volunteer led. When we talk about volunteers, this is what this place is. And the donations on a daily basis are just with what there's needed. I notice I get on Facebook what's needed over here, and people ask me what can they do. I say, well, you could take stuff to Safe and Sound.
I've asked other people, but if
my 3 wishes.
You're wise to my 3 wishes.
I are. Golly, I'd like to have a volunteer center here. I would like people to be able to find out all the opportunities in this community that there is to do things.
Yeah.
And we used to have a wonderful one in the mall,
Yeah.
and the mall, we call it the mall, again, Heritage Mall.
Yeah. Heritage Place.
Yes, and
yeah.
people could go in and they could look through a book and they could see all the organizations that were. Then we've had some volunteer fairs.
Yeah.
So let's do that. Let's
Yes.
keep that going because
Yes.
people need to get out of their homes
Yeah.
and get with people
Yes.
because
Yes.
that's,
Get to know people.
Well,
as people.
I'm in the age group that they call the exit line, and if you want people to be at your funeral, you better know a few people. That's the way it is.
I hadn't heard that. Exit line. Oh my goodness. Okay. What is another wish now?
Well, after the volunteers, I guess I would wish that we could have. I keep saying a magic wand. I have several acquaintances who would have cancer, and I've been through it with both my husband and my daughter.
Yes.
So if we could have a wand
Yeah.
to fix that,
Yeah.
all of the diseases really. Health is the big thing, and that's why I still stay on doctor recruitment too, because the whole health thing is falling apart on us, and if we want people to move to Owen Sound, we got to be able to have them look after their health.
And we want our vulnerable
And we want all of us
marginalized community to have health care.
So the health is a big thing for me too.
Yeah.
And then I guess the next one is if everybody could if we somehow could make all the money work a little easier than it does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Share it around.
Share the resources.
More equity in our community. And we don't have equity.
So that those who are less advantaged would have access to more resources through more funding as well. Am I reading that right?
That's kind of what I'm saying, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we don't like the word poverty very much, but there is people that are now, because of the grocery, well, where we're at right now in life with the grocery costs and all of everything, everything's got an increase in prices. Yeah.
Are you seeing from the seniors' perspective trends where more and more people are starting to become at risk? And I know we're going to have the broom waved at us for a minute.
Okay, well, I just know that people, we have to work on their depression piece because they're getting discouraged, right?
Yes.
So we need that piece to work.
Yeah.
So let's go out of this hopefully, okay?
We need a hopeful message. Your 3 wishes are good wishes, Jan.
Well, you know what, Carol? I thank you, and I know you thank me, and we just need to celebrate each other, right?
Absolutely.
And all of the people helping, all the helpers.
I agree with you. If it wasn't for those social services, where would we be?
Yeah.
Thank you. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate you being here and sharing this message.
Just letting me ramble on.
Wonderful. No, excellent.
All right.
Thank you to our viewing audience as well for joining us for We All Belong, Voices of Lived Experiences. Please join us again to learn more from those who are marginalized, who are vulnerable, and who are part of our community, so that together we can work together to help to resolve those who are unhoused or at risk of being without a house. Take care, stay safe. Thank you.
Connect with us by visiting our website or email us at comments@rogerstv.com.
What are you here for?
I'm here.
Score 40. Score 50. Come on, that's it?
There's a new member of the 60-goal club.
David Pastrnak.
60 on the season.
The game breakers are out. Feels like he can score from anywhere.
Top shelf. Love side.
Wrap around.
Breakaway.
Only great goal scorers make plays like that.
One-timer?
Timer score!
Sportsnet. Here for hockey.